Hey guys, and welcome to the review of part 2 of season 6 of Cobra Kai. And there is just so much to talk about, so much to sink in, so much thoughts to process. And if you're wondering whether I enjoyed it or not, I did. I very much loved it and I had a great time. Like, I binged all 5 episodes in one sitting, like I just couldn't stop. So, to get this out of the way, yes, I very much did love them and had a great time watching them, but does it mean I thought they were flawless? Not quite, and there are some different story directions I very much would go on, although that also further confirms my idea that maybe splitting into 3 parts each 5 episodes was probably not the best idea after all, because truly the quality also largely depends on the last 5 episodes, because we still don't know in what this direction the story is going. So to truly know the quality, you have to see how it ends. Like, again, I did have a great time and I binged all 5 episodes and I can't wait for more. But at the same time, as I said, to truly determine the quality of this season, we truly probably have to wait till February and see the last 5 episodes, because again, as I said, the quality truly depends on how it's things landing, because they opened up so many potential storylines and all that we don't know how they're all going to end up. Like, and I'll also say that, but we'll get to it later because this is a spoiler, so we'll get to spoilers in the end. But first I will say this probably has been the darkest finale so far of the Cobra Kai. Like, if you thought that the last episode of the first batch of the 5 episodes was dark, I mean, this totally blows it out of the water. Like, this was probably the darkest Cobra Kai has ever gotten, and who knows, maybe it's only going to get darker. Who knows? I don't care, as long as the storytelling and the quality is still good, that's all that matters to me. But some really dark stuff that's happened. Like, I don't think anyone expected we're going to get there, but what specifically happened we'll get to later. First, I'll try to discuss it in a spoiler-free way before we get to spoiler territory. So first, as we know, the second Taikai was going to take place in Barcelona, and that's of course where like the action of all those 5 episodes takes place in Barcelona, and I really loved that setting. I loved all the European like sites and all that, like, and then historical city, and even there was a montage. We've seen it in the trailer, but that actually happens not until 5th episode, 10th of the season technically. This doesn't happen until the last episodes of the season, but we've been seeing in the trailer how they were training some historical sites of Barcelona, specifically Sagrada Familia. That's what they showed us in the trailer, but not just Sagrada Familia. They actually been training in plenty of historical parts of Barcelona, and I love that. Like, that was some really creative they got here. Yep, I really love that. And another thing I really loved is that, because I probably said in my review of the first 5 episodes, is Tori's character arc, and some people would probably call it pretty much a rehash of Robbie's character arc in season 4, and I could see the argument could totally be made. At the same time, I'll take this anyway over Tori for real actually going back to Cobra Kai and again getting corrupted by Chris and his teachings. Like, yeah, I'll take a rehash of Robbie's arc in season 4 above Tori going to the dark side again any day now, because I said it before that Tori is literally became now, I mean, she became already by the point of like season 4, but she very much is one of my favorite characters in the whole show. And when I saw her go back to Chris at like the end of episode 5, I was like worried, like, oh gosh, not this again. But I already said how much I hope that she comes around and does get redeemed, and it seems thankfully that the show very much is thankfully intact with her redemption, and the very last episode totally proves that, and I couldn't be happier about that. Is there a rehash of Robbie's arc from season 4? Sure, if you call it that way. Again though, I will take that over Tori becoming bad any day now. So yes, I'm really happy that Tori's redemption very much is still intact, and she still very much is one of my favorite characters in the show, and I'm really glad they didn't destroy her character. And I also like some of the fights and all that, because up to before, like, well, the fights in Cobra Kai weren't bad. They weren't like you can't really say they were a highlight of the show. It's like they were fun, but at the end of the day, when you wanted some real good karate action, I would just put like a Chinese kung fu movie. While the Cobra Kai, I would mostly just focus on the story and the characters. I'm not saying there's no focus on the story and the characters here. There very much is, but I do think that the fights also in the tournament were better than ever. Like, those were probably the best fights that I've seen at this point in the show. So, yes, the fights were excellent. But here now we're coming to some of the flaws, because I honestly don't agree with some of the choices that the story took place. Like, I've probably been saying constantly before, like I said it in my review of the previous season, and I said it in all my trailer reactions, how much I was opposed to Silver being back. Unlike most people who very much like called for him to be back, while I was one of the few that thought that he had a perfect character ending at the end of season 5. But then there were leaks, and he was spot on said that his return at this point was inevitable, and I heard leaks that he apparently owned Iron Dragons, and considering that Iron Dragons were very much advertised and hyped, I thought that was probably true, and yep, confirmed, it is true, Silver did indeed turn out to own Iron Dragons, and well, I do admit, his reintroduction was actually pretty cool. The way he was sitting like in a bath like that, and then revealing himself to Daniel and Chris, as well as Chosen and Sensei Kim. Yep, his reintroduction was actually pretty cool, I have to say. Really cool scene. But I'm still conflicted. Like we'll see where this story overall is going, but I'm still conflicted, because at the end of the day, it does feel like he's still a bigger villain than Chris. And spoiler alert, the first big spoiler, it very much seems like the show is setting up a redemption for Chris, which I guess I could go with. I would never go with redemption of Silver. Like, redeeming Silver would be complete insult to his character, and I'm not going to accept Silver redemption. That would actually be one of those things that could ruin the show for me, just like if Tori didn't get redeemed, it could ruin the show. If if Tori didn't get redeemed, then it would very much ruin the show for me. And same way, if Silver does indeed get redeemed, it will completely ruin the show for me. That guy's like an evil mastermind. He doesn't deserve redemption, nor should he have it. It will completely destroy his character. While with Chris, I was always more mixed on, but yes, the show does seem to be going in the direction of his redemption, which I'm kind of mixed on. I mean, like, because I always felt that the scene in the cave in the first 5 episodes of season 6, I always thought the scene in the cave where he killed an illusion of Johnny, I always felt like that scene was sort of supposed to drive the point home, that Chris was supposed to be redeemable. It was basically supposed to be that he basically killed like his one redeeming quality, like his sort of fatherly love for Johnny. So, in all honesty, I thought that that scene in the cave was supposed to be the whole point, that Chris is now beyond redemption and basically became a far more dangerous version of himself. But with the return of Silver and Iron Dragons, clearly, which we'll talk about soon actually, Iron Dragons and the Korean Cobra Kai, we'll talk about it very soon. But now with Silver owning Iron Dragons and causing trouble again, it seems like they again decided to go with Silver for the main villain, which was actually another prime reasons why I didn't really want Silver to return, because it does kind of feel like how they're hyping Chris and Sensei Kim, training their Korean Cobra Kais and hyping them as dangerous as the most dangerous enemies and all that. But now that it turned out that the Iron Dragons are far worse and far more powerful, and with Silver owning them, it does kind of feel like that how they're all hyping Chris and Sensei Kim and Korean Cobra Kai, it does kind of feel like it became null and void now. It does feel like it kind of completely nullified the whole way how they're hyping and setting up Chris and Sensei Kim. Oh well, best I have left to see where further the story is going now. So yes, if I'm being honest, bringing back Silver did indeed kind of confirm what I was expecting it to do. It does feel like it kind of detracted from Chris after how first 5 episodes were very much hyping him to be the ultimate villain of the show. But as I said, all we have left now is see how the last 5 episodes play out, and we'll see where the story is going. If they redeem Chris, well, the story seems very much to be taking the direction, so I can go with that if it's well done. Although, please don't redeem Silver. That will be an insult to his character and completely ruin the show, so please don't redeem Silver. And I'm also really curious where the story of Chosen and Sensei Kim is going, because I've been hearing rumors apparently they were going to have a romance, which, again, another huge spoiler. Yes, they do indeed. But I was actually surprised how much I actually ended up enjoying their romance, and I was surprised, but I totally bought it. Like, when I first heard about the romance between Chosen and Sensei Kim, I said, BS, bullshit. But then as soon as I saw that this is actually happening, I thought, it actually sort of makes sense, and also gives me hope that maybe the story of Sensei Kim's grandfather, Kim San-yam, who technically is probably the ultimate villain of the show, since he's the founder of the Way of the Fist, basically a pre-Cobra Kai. I'm really hoping that we do see him again, because his character also deserves a conclusion. Like, maybe Chosen will defeat him and Kim, or together, who knows. But yes, Sensei Kim Sang-yang must return, and he must get defeated. And now, I will also talk about the ending, because I've said, like, this show has got so dark. Like, the ending of the first 5 episodes was pretty dark, but, like, it was nothing compared to this, like, because, again, I did hear some rumors, but as I said in my trailer reaction, I try not to take leaks too seriously. But I did hear rumors that somebody dies, and then plenty that Kwon dies, but I thought, like, I didn't actually watch any of the videos, I just saw some video titles pop up saying that apparently Kwon dies by the knife. And, wouldn't you believe it? It does happen. Not only that, but even the way it was played was, like, so dark, because yes, Kwon does grab a knife and then he laughs sadistically, and it's obvious that he's about to do some sadistic shit, but then he trips and falls on the knife and dies. And that was a really dark turn. And you know what? Because he wasn't a sympathetic character at all, like, throughout these 5 episodes. Like, and even at the end when he actually grabbed the knife and the way he sadistically was laughing, like, you totally got the feeling like, this guy's a psycho. But even after all that, you couldn't feel help but, like, feel sorry for him. Like, I don't know if because of the nature of the show, or because whatever, but yep, even though after all the shit that he's done in those 5 episodes, you still can't help but feel sorry for him. And it's pretty obvious that all the people in the tournament are just as frightened as the audience are, probably even more so, since they are technically there. And yes, that was literally the ending of the season. So yes, Cobra Kai is really getting dark, and again, I really love those 5 episodes. Although, actually I have to talk about one more thing. I already talked about how I thought that bringing back Silver would very much detract from Chris, and I stand by that, and this 5 episodes kind of proved it. I'll now have to go into more detail about Iron Dragons and Korean Cobra Kai, because Iron Dragons, I mean, were some really powerful, like, I mean, they turned out to be far more dangerous than Cobra Kai, and in all honesty, it does also kind of feel like all this hype up of Kwon and the other new Cobra Kais, it did kind of feel like it basically made them pointless now that the Iron Dragons are far worse. Like, I mean, Kwon is certainly much more evil and certainly more sadistic from Axel, but Axel, on the other hand, is a much better and more powerful fighter. There is no doubt about that. So, yeah, I have to say that what I've been saying. Silver and Iron Dragons, I do feel they did kind of detract from Chris and Cobra Kai. But again, all we have left is to see the last 5 episodes and see where the story will go. It probably seems like I'm kind of complaining about those 5 episodes, but trust me, I still very much love Cobra Kai. Although, can't say it's perfect and flawless, but I still very much love Cobra Kai. If I'm being honest, I think I loved those 5 episodes more than I loved the first 5, but this is really getting dark, and I can't wait now for the last 5 episodes. Like, I really want to know how this ends. Like, this show was so awesome. It truly deserves a conclusion that it's worthy of. So, thank you guys for checking out my review of Cobra Kai Part 2, Season 6 Part 2, and if the show sticks the landing, instead of reviewing the third batch in the last 5 episodes, I will just give Cobra Kai a whole you should be watching treatment. That's right, if the show sticks the landing, and fingers crossed it does, I will not review then the last 5 episodes. I will instead just give a whole you should be watching treatment to the whole show. But it has to stick the landing. And thank you all of you for checking out this review. Press the like button. Please subscribe to this channel. And I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you soon. Bye.